Hello everyone, and welcome to the Elite Racer Series once again back on Sunday night here for the Chase Cutoff race. This is the final race of the regular season, and it's at Homestead for 134 laps of action to determine the Chase field, the 12 drivers to fight for the championship. So this should be a fun one, race number 15 on the season, and it's Homestead, so that's always a fun race to watch out for. You'll be seeing some cars get loose and whatnot off of turn number 2, sometimes off turn 4 as well, and add on to the fact that some of these drivers might need to win to make it into the postseason. That will make it just that much cooler. So Big Jim will be starting on pole here tonight in the number 3. He actually laid down a 31.988. That's a pretty sporty around this racetrack. I can't tell who's starting in second, but we have Tiger in third, Allen in fourth, and then 5th place is K-Sharp, his first race in the series. As we can join the lobby. An interesting thing about this is I think they were the front 2 in points entering this race. They were. KD and Arrow have backed out and forfeited their chase spot. Reason is private, and we respect that decision for those 2 drivers. We wish them luck, though, in the F1 League that runs on Thursday nights. But since they have forfeited their chase spots, everyone, since they're the front 2 in points, they move up 2 positions. So Brendan, who was 3rd in points entering this race, now has the points lead by 23 over Big Jim. Tango is now in 3rd, BKR is 4th, DVJ is 5th, AJ is 6th, Allen is 7th, LT is 8th, Pence is 9th, and Tiger is 10th. The 2 wild cards would be the drivers who are technically 11th and 12th in points. That's Jocko and Koala. However, if someone like Jesse or Alpha wins, they bump their way in, as we're green flag racing at Homestead. Big Jim leads the field to green. To his outside is actually Brennan, who will jump down in line behind him to turns 1 and 2. So Brennan falls in line second, now looks for the lead, and the battle for third is Tiger and Allen on the outside of him. There's K-Sharp. There's his first appearance in the number 57 car. With a good starting spot, he's hoping that he can race as well, as he's a really good racer, and he's hoping to perform well in his first Elite Racer Series race. To his outside, in a unique race car, that's Alpha. A car created by me without looking at colors or the base that was used, so it looks like it's the base with the stars, if I'm not mistaken. And there's, I think, some red in that, some brown as well. Is that orange, I think, on the car? So it looks like there's brown, and the wheels are blue, and I think that's a pink number. So that is very interesting indeed. But yeah, there's a lot happening on that paint scheme. Is up front for the lead. Brennan has not won yet this season, but he wants to win this one right before the chase. Big Jim's already won 3 times this season, looking for his 4th. Allen, right behind them, hasn't won either, so he's looking for his first. Tiger has won 2 times this season, and those front 4 battling hard for the top spot down the backstretch. Now, I believe Alpha's in a position, he's currently in 5th place right now. He's in a position to where if he wins this race, he's actually into the postseason virtue of a wild card. So for Alpha, it is try and win this race as best he can to try and get that wild card spot. He did win this race last season in the Winter Series. Did it for Betty White in dramatic fashion. So he's hoping they can have that same sort of success here in the Elite Racer Series Season 2 and punches ticket into the chases. They're still side by side for the lead. Brendan not able to clear the bottom. Big Jim on the outside still fighting hard, and they've been side by side for about 2-3 laps now, and behind them, Allen and Tiger are starting to get impatient in 3rd and 4th. They want to go. Also, look at Alpha. Maybe got to the wall and got down to that green car. Don't know who that is. Going to try and... That is Wes. He got down to Wes, but Wes did a great job in that green car, saving it and keeping it going straight. Behind them, that is still K-Sharp right there. So it's the front 7 kind of in this pack currently. Back here, you have AJ and Pens. Number 24, that's Koala. And it looks like it is... the number 5 right there is along with Tango. Big Jim and Brennan, the front 2 in points, are still side by side for the lead. Big Jim trying to use that top well, and Homestead's a track where as Tiger and Allen make contact, like Allen got into the wall because of that. Homestead's a track where if you have a wheel, it can really work out well. Later into a run, the later you get into a run, off of 2 especially, you just hit that seam in the right way and it starts to get loose. So if you have a wheel, you can maybe run a looser setup, like maybe Big Jim is right now. Maybe he's on a 5 or something, and he can run looser here, and it helps him in the short run. He's also able to keep it going. Oh, he's actually into the wall, though. Big Jim knocks the wall down through 3 and 4, and that's going to cost him so many spots. Look at everyone trying to filter through on the bottom, but Big Jim goes from a side-by-side battle for the lead to now back to about 7th or 8th place, so now he has work to do to try and get back up to the front. So an unfortunate break for Big Jim. Maybe just got too high into the corner and just ran out of racetrack, but now that leaves Brendan with the lead. He's under fire, though, from Allen as the 88 looks to the inside, entering 3 and 4. Allen's going to dive it to the bottom of Brendan, maybe try a slide drive to get back up the racetrack. Brendan's now going to look to cross under on that 88 car, and they'll race side by side off of 4. Once again, for the race lead at the line, looks like Brendan keeps the lead in the 9 car. We can already see some of these drivers getting loose on corner exit, even off turn number 4. They're getting down towards that apron. That's just kind of Homestead in a nutshell. You get loose off every corner, and that just happens naturally here. And you can see right there, Tiger diving to the apron. Brennan diving low. Now trying to get up and crowd Allen as best he can. This is bringing Wes, who looks like he's had a very steady car so far this race. Wes is coming up. It looks like almost like a John Deere paint scheme with that nice green and some yellow numbers on it. That looks like a John Deere car. Still side by side for the lead. Allen at the stripe edges that time, but Brennan's not giving up on the bottom lane. These are 2 fast Chevrolets going at it, and the Ford of West right behind in 3rd place. Brennan able to clear Allen, who looks to now cross under like the 9 did, but Brennan got loose and got down into the 88. They're able to control it, keep it going straight, but that's something to watch out for. We're only 8 laps into this race, and already drivers get loose off the corner. Imagine at the end of a fuel run. Imagine if you have to run long to end this race out. What might happen there? So just watch out for that all throughout this race. Cars are going to be getting like that all race long as Allen leads his second consecutive lap. And now he protects the bottom. Tiger looked to go up through the middle, but thought better of it. He'll get back in line by the 88. Brendan trying to use the top side to his advantage. Allen trying to clear on the bottom in the 88, but he's getting loose trying to keep his car wound down to the bottom. And Brendan got a nice run on the top side in the 9 cars, trying to take it away. And Wes looking to go 3 wide on the 88 and the 32, but he thinks better of it, backs out. And Lucas already back up inside the top 5. It's Big Jim in the 3 car coming back to the front as he's on the outside trying to make it work. To his inside, it's K-Sharp. Right behind them, it looks like it's AJ in the 54, and that's Alpha in the 26. So here's more side-by-side racing. Wes and Big Jim I feel like most of the top 5 has been side-by-side for a majority of this race. They've not been able to get away from each other. You can see right there, Allen got loose off the corner, got down to the 32 of Tiger. They're able to keep it going. One thing I will say about Homestead is that this is a racetrack where there's kind of a transition period in how the car gets loose. So at some point, like around now in the run, it starts to get a little bit loose, and it really takes off on you. But after a while, it kind of steadies out to where it's still getting loose, but it's not as bad for these drivers, as I think that was Koala coming off pit road in the 24. But, oh, Big Jim's going around in the 3! I don't know if he just got loose on his own or if he got hit down there, but the 3 car is around, and for Big Jim, that is a terrible issue there on the 3. I would have to say that someone got loose and just clipped off his nose, but Big Jim goes spinning, and now unless we get yellows, AJ's now wrecking in the background. Looks like he got loose down to K-Sharp, and the 54 able to keep going straight, but loses touch with the main draft as Brendan trying to get away. He was like the only one that didn't get loose off 2 the last time, and now they're side by side for second. It's Tiger on the outside, Allen on the inside, and at this stage in the run, when you start to get really loose, I would not want to be the guy on the inside of someone who's trying to make a pass. I mean, that could just end in a horrible disaster. Yeah, that is Koala in the 24. He's ahead. Looks like he just came off pit road. Meanwhile, you have Tiger, Allen, Alpha, and Wes all trying to run down Brendan as Allen actually looks out for a pass on Tiger through 1 and 2. Brendan able to keep the lead in the 9 car. You see Allen trying to make that pass work. He'll stay door to door with the 32 of Tiger. They race down the backstretch. Alpha coming into it in the 26. Alpha trying to squeeze that 88 down, trying to get as close as he can, but it looks like Allen couldn't hold it down there and made contact with Alpha. Sent that 26 up the racetrack, and now Alpha's going to have to try and regroup and get back going. And that beautiful paint scheme. Now that Tiger's gotten away from Allen, he can now just try and focus forward on the 9 car of Brennan. I think that's what he's doing right here. Brennan just trying to run consistent laps here and just stay out in front and run as good as he can. You can see he's trying to hug that white line as best he can, but at some point you could just turn in too early and you get down to the apron, and that's what happened with Brennan as he actually hits the wall down to Tiger, and he's wrecking in front of the field. He's in the air for the 9 car, flying all around. We have cars taken to the apron. I don't know if that's going to be a yellow flag. I don't know how many cars were technically involved in that. If they deem it was 2, this will be a yellow flag, but it was a big crash on the front stretch, as now the drivers who started first and second or have been involved in crashes. We'll have to see at the line if they call yellow for that. If it's 2 or more cars, a yellow will come out. So we'll see what Tiger and Allen do once they get to the line. Do they slow down or do they keep going? At the stripe, Tiger will cross it, and it looks like that will be a yellow flag. So the yellow is out for the first time today at Homestead. Tiger with the lead, Allen in second. I think that's Alpha, so I think Alpha was also involved in the 26, so it looks like it was Brennan and Alpha collected in that one, and that will now get everyone caught up to the pack. See some cars kind of sliding in at the back. So now Tiger leads, Allen will be second, third place will be Wes, K-Sharp fourth, AJ is fifth, in sixth place it's Pens, seventh place I think it's the 5 car, Tango will be eighth, Big Jim is now ninth, after he was able to get through that crash, and that means 10th place will be Brennan, and that should be Alpha 11th and Koala in 12th. I'd assume pit road will be open this time by, and you'll definitely see everyone come down, and they'll all take 4 tires right here. So they're about, I think they're a little bit more than halfway through their fuel run, so they'll be pitting now and getting their service done. And remember, there's no stages in this series. The only yellows you get are if there's an accident, or if or obviously at the midway point. Lap 67 is when you get the yellow. So you get about 30 laps on fuel, 31 laps. I think it says 31 in the game, but you burn off about a lap or 2, so you go about 29, 30 laps on a tank of fuel. And we'll just have to see what everyone does here. So they're going to pit. I think that was completion of lap 17. Midway's at about 64, so they'll have to pit again, as leaving pit road, I think Allen may have beaten the 32 off right there. So yeah, Allen in the 88 is going to be the race leader, as Tiger led them in. Allen leads them off though in the 88. So good pit stop for the 88 crew, bad pit stop for the 32, but it gives Allen the race lead. It gives Tiger now second place, West is third, K-Sharp is fourth, AJ is fifth. So now, choose cone will be at the start-finish line, and I would assume if you are the leader, you'll take the bottom here. We'll have to see who thinks the top will be worth it. But under these manual restarts, it's always such a just such an advantage to be in the lane the leader is in. Whatever lane the leader is in, obviously fires off first, and you get a nice launch with that one if you're in that lane. So some cars coming down pit road another time, as maybe that means there's going to be some field strategy. It looks like Allen took the top actually, so he gave Tiger the bottom. But some cars did come down a second time. Alpha has come down, Pens has come down, and Tango has come down. If you know, if Tango's come down, you know that he's going to be trying something here. They're going to restart. Completion of 19 on lap 20. So since they're going to restart on lap 20, halfway's at about lap 67, I don't see the benefit, because you're going to have to go 48 laps. They can't save that, and it's still going to be a one-stop anyway, so I don't know what their strategy is. If they want to make more adjustments, I don't know what the decision is there. But whatever it was, those 3 came back down a second time, and they've topped off on fuel, maybe got some more adjustments in. I don't know, but they're going to have to all get caught back up, especially Alpha, who it looks like took tires on that. The other 2 took fuel only. I think they'll get caught up, but Alpha, I think, will be Kyle Busch restarting this if he doesn't get caught up as the field approaches the restart zone. There's Alpha coming off 4. Allen's on the gas, and he's back going on the outside. Tiger, not a good restart in second, and they stack up 3 wide behind, entering turn number 1. That's Brennan trying to make his way back through the field in the 9 car. K-Sharp getting shoved out through the middle. On the outside, that's West. That's the 5. That's, I think, Big Jim up there as well is the front 2. Allen clears. AJ's now second, but he's under fire from Tiger. And Brennan wants the lead back in the 9. He wants to get back into the front. After being involved in that yellow flag, Brennan trying to fight his way back through the field as the 5 car gets into the wall. Who's inside the 8. Brennan in the 9, pushing Tiger, trying to get him clear of AJ and then trying to clear the 54 machine himself. Allen, though, leads in the 88 through 1 and 2. Tiger trying to get clear. He'll pull up in front of the 54 off turn 2. Now Tiger will give chase. But, oh, AJ! I don't know if that... Yeah, I think he was just pulling out there, but that was a very aggressive move to pull out of the pack right there. I thought he was going to... thought he got loose or he just got clipped or something, but he was just pulling out of line. Allen breaking the draft down the front stretch, trying to not give anything to Tiger there as he knows that 32 is fast and clear. Big Jim, a big thread move into turns 1 and 2, trying to get up and clear the 5 car and clear the 9 as well. Big Jim up to 4th, the highest he's been since he spun off turn 2. To his inside, though, it's Brennan in the 9 going 3 wide. The front 3 get clear. That West is now 3rd. Big Jim through the middle, trying to clear for 4th. Two's outside to the 5 car. Brennan up behind the 3. You have K-Sharp, you have Pens also side by side behind that. As these guys try to sort out to run down the front few, who are getting single file and trying to pull away and getting their own draft. As Brennan wants to clear the 5. Brennan knows how fast his car has been here today. He wants to try and clear, but he gets loose off the corner. K-Sharp will go up to the middle because of that. All sorts of loose there. Up at the front, Tiger gains on Allen for the race lead. Wes also there, digging hard in that white line. Love running down there, especially if you can just run it perfectly. Get such good time down there. Tiger, a dive bomb attempt into turn 1, getting underneath Allen. Look at the guy riding the top side. No one's out there like Big Jim is. The 3 running up towards the wall and making it work. He's looking outside of West. The 17 blocks it off. Tiger gets up behind the 88. Allen still maintains the lead at Homestead, but again, the 32 tries to the inside. It's these 4 that have broken away. Tiger trying to clear Allen, but can't. And gets maybe into the side of the 88. Allen maintains the lead. Now Tiger in second, but here comes a challenge. Here comes a 3 wide challenge. It's Big Jim to the inside. Big Jim, the pole sitter, back for second place and maybe the lead next lap. He'll clear for second. Allen definitely has to be shaken now. The 88. He knows Big Jim's fast, but that's going to help him because Tiger looks to the inside of Big Jim. But that can also just help Big Jim roll the top like he's been doing the past few laps. There he goes to the top lane. Look at how high he is. No one's really running up there, but the 3 is. He's going to get it on exit here, but Tiger moves up to protect the top. Big Jim will go back down low. Big gets back in line. Tiger still in second, trying to get by the 88. He's going to take Big Jim's line away, trying to get by Allen. And all this battling, some others are closing in 5th on back. Yeah, I think that's K-Sharp actually. Is you have Tiger going for the lead again in the 32. Tiger beneath Allen, beside him to his door. Allen runs wide, trying to keep the momentum up. Tiger trying to stay low and away. Oh, he's trying to get some side drive. Big Jim's going to go 3 wide to the bottom for the lead. Tiger will get back in behind the 88, but Big Jim's underneath the 88 now. But still couldn't complete the pass on Tiger. Allen getting a little high, maybe getting loose now. So he's trying to correct it. Big Jim trying to side drive Tiger to stay side by side for a second. All this battling. K-Sharp is joining in the 57 car. He's in 5th. In 6th, it's the 5. Is Big Jim getting loose, so loose off 4. Didn't hit the inside wall somehow, but loses spots. Tiger for the lead now again in the 32. And this time he might have it cleared on the 88. Pulls up, and I think he parked the bus pretty well, but Allen's able to cross under. They stay side by side for the lead. This time the 88 on the inside. Now does he slide jump the 32, or does he play a little bit nicer? It looks like he threw it in pretty deep there. He'll pull up, and Allen maintains the lead. He got a little loose there. Tiger, a nice run on the top. He'll look back to the inside of the 88. These two are not letting each other get away. Big Jim back to the top side. No fear. He just got loose a few laps ago, but he's still going for it. Allen loose into Tiger. Tiger out of control, trying to control it. After making contact with the 88, Tiger comes back up onto the racing surface without any contact besides the one he had with the 88, but we stay green. Tiger will fall back to fourth. Now what can West do in second place? Can he try and get to that number 88 of Allen? There he is. Obviously didn't start well, but he's racing pretty well. West, though, under fire from the men who start on pole. Big Jim to the inside will grab second back. Now can he try and get by the 88 of Allen? No one's done it since the restart. Allen picked the top and drove right away from the field. You see Big Jim how hard he's driving into the corners. He knows that his car might be a little bit better at this stage in the race, this stage in the run. But all this battling, look at this. You have K-Sharp back in it, but Brennan's back in it. The 5 is back in it. We have 7 cars now in this draft. Led by the 88 of Allen and the 3 of Big Jim and the 17 of Wes. Look at that. K-Sharp getting loose back there. That's just the point of the run now. They've run about 10 laps. It's going to start to get a lot looser. Big Jim tried to ride the top. Allen really gets up high. Look at the run for Big Jim. How did he split the middle? I have no idea. But it gets him the lead in the 3 car. What an amazing move for Big Jim. Allen's not done though. He's not giving up. Back to the bottom, but that was a gutsy move by Big Jim. He just got back into the gas so much sooner. Backed up his entry, rode that speed all the way on exit, and the 88 slid up and took the 3's line away, and somehow Big Jim able to turn the car just enough and barely got beneath the 88 and between the 17 as well. But look at Allen. Slide drop back on the 3, back up towards the wall. Big Jim back to the bottom of the 3 car. This is outstanding racing at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Look at Tiger looking 3 wide to the top. Tiger to the outside in the 32. Big Jim on the bottom. Allen in the middle. Behind that, it's the 17 of Wes. Big Jim clears and leads in the 3. Now can he check out? Will that draft? Look at Allen again drafting up to the inside of the 3 of Big Jim. He's going to look for another slider possibly in 3 and 4. Slides up. The 3 still out there. Contact in the wall. And around goes the 17 into the 9. And they're wrecking big on the front stretch. K-Sharp involved. Qualla involved. And that will undoubtedly be a yellow flag next time by. As it looks like there's about 2, 3, 4 cars involved in that one. Tiger now leads. Alpha up to second somehow in the 26. Big Jim and Allen. That's a 3-way bout for second place as Tiger's going to lead them back around to the yellow flag, and this about splits the stage. And now Tango's fuel strategy will come into play because the yellow's going to come out in lap 67. They're probably going to go green with about 30 or so laps to go. So Tiger will lead at the yellow. Big Jim will be second. Alpha will be third. And then Allen in fourth, and the 5 car will be fifth. What a crazy run that was. I mean, that was quite insane. They were all over the place there, and I can't believe that was that was when they wrecked. So pit road should be open this time by. This is with 100 to go in the race. I think about halfway is at lap 67. So they have about, at this point, about 34, 33 laps until we get to halfway. So they'll pit now. They'll go green the next lap. Well, they'll choose the next lap, and then they'll go green. So for Tango, this is definitely doable on fuel, and I would say for others as well. You might see some drivers top off here as pit road's open. Big Jim and all the others come onto pit road, obviously for the 4 Goodyear Eagles and their full tank of fuel, especially because that's going to be the most important part of this. So last time Tiger led them into pit road, but did not lead them off of pit road. We'll have to see if Tiger's pit crew is a little bit better about that this time around as he leads them in. Will he lead them off? But Big Jim with that number 1 pit stall could come into play here. Well, one of the first pit stalls. Tango has the number 1 pit stall because he's last, but we'll have to see where Tiger comes off as they leave pit road. Tiger with the lead. Alpha actually jumps up to second in front of Big Jim, it looks like. So the question is, will anyone give up their positions to possibly top off on fuel at the choose lap? Because they'll come around, they'll choose this lap, and obviously they're already close on fuel, every little ounce you can get. Obviously good. As they're going to come around to 31 to go. They're going to restart with about 30 to go. So they're right on the money to make it. I mean, if they're going to be short, it's going to be by about half a lap, 3/4 of a lap. So I don't think anyone will come down and top off. I mean, maybe someone will, and just then they'll know they'll be good on fuel. So obviously, if you're up at the front, though, you want to keep that track position. We'll see, though. Does anyone towards the back come in and possibly top off? It looks like everyone's going to have what they have, as Tiger will choose the bottom, Alpha will choose the top, Big Jim to the bottom, the 5 to the top, Alan bottom, Koala at the highest. He's been on night up to 6th. He'll choose the top. K-Sharp will be 8th on the top. You have Pens. I think he chose the bottom. He'll be 7th for the restart. Brennan's going to be 9th. He chose the bottom. He's been involved in both yellows so far, so both restarts been at the back of the pack. 9th and I think 10th. So we'll see what Brennan can do on this restart, kind of like what he did last time. Wes also at the back now. He's been fast tonight. What can he do with that green number 17 car? And how's the fuel going to look for some of these drivers? That is, if we don't get another yellow before the midway point, because the chance of that happening might be pretty high, getting another yellow, because of how these guys have been racing and how loose and tight they've been getting. I'd not be shocked if we get another yellow. As we're going to restart with 30 laps left in the first half of this race. Tiger leads, Alpha 2 is outside in second, Big Jim is third, Ballstick is fourth, and rounding out the top 5, it's Allen coming back to the restart zone. Tiger on the gas, and Alpha stayed decently with them on the restart. As we're back going at Homestead, look at Tiger going all the way down, basically on the apron. Alpha trying to get a nice arc into the corner, through 1 and 2, and that arc might work for the 26 driver. Looking to the outside, Tiger gets in behind him, now looks to the outside again. Big Jim did not get a good restart. He's falling back now, battling for third with Allen. Alpha's on the outside of Tiger, trying to take the lead away in the 26 car. Tiger's going to slide up, take the line away. Can Alpha get the run on exit? You betcha he will. Looking back to the outside of Tiger. Tiger leads. Alpha side drafts. Alpha's always known as the king of side drafts. Really does that well, and he's going to try and do it well here. Look at him trying to just roll that top, trying to get some side draft now on corner exit. Pulls alongside even with Tiger. Now pulls ahead down the backstretch. Can Tiger side draft to the 26? Alpha might have this clear right here. He's just been better through that middle. Alpha gonna lead his first lap of the night right here as he leads at Homestead. Big Jim for a second on Tiger as the outside is working on this restart. Look at these guys using that outside. Big Jim and Allen to the outside. Big Jim even higher. That might have just been the car washing up. Allen all sorts of sideways through the middle. The 5's on the wall because of it. Everyone darts to the bottom. They somehow are all going to be able to save it and keep it going. Alpha still leads in the 26. Big Jim now on the outside trying to get second away. It's a battle with Tiger for that second spot. But Big Jim with the run off the top, I think is going to be able to... Yeah, he clears. So now it's Alpha versus Big Jim for the lead. Allen now in third as well in the 88. Tiger all the way back to fourth on that restart. Not what he wanted. I think that's AJ up to fifth in the 54. Good run for him. He's moving through the field. Oh, he got into the wall, though. Oh, my goodness. Look at this. Brennan got up towards the wall, maybe into it, trying to avoid it. West went all the way down to the apron, but they all are able to keep it going straight and clean and green so far. Back up to the front, and what a surprise. They're side by side again for the leads. Alpha on the outside, Big Jim on the inside. Allen and Tiger going to the outside with Alpha. But look at Allen now. He's going to go towards the middle. Alpha goes higher, trying to use the outside, kind of like what Big Jim was running. But the 3 clears on the bottom, slides up. Big Jim takes the line away, and they're going to go 4 wide on corner exit. Luckily, Alpha was able to clear the 88 and the 32 before that 4 wide situation arose, because that would have been pretty big and ugly if they were 4 wide off turn number 2. Alpha trying to use that bottom. Big Jim trying to use the top. They're once again door to door. Back around to the start-finish line. A dead heat. Big Jim leads the lap in the 3 car. To the apron, West back there, but controls the car and gets it back going. To turns 1 and 2. Alpha on the outside. Big Jim. Alpha on the inside. Big Jim on the outside. And Allen and Tiger just kind of right there wondering where to go. Allen goes with Alpha. Tiger goes with Big Jim. A send for Alpha on the bottom. Maybe trying to come up and take Big Jim's line away, but we've seen so many times this race. Someone does that, and then the guy just darts right back to the inside. But that time, Big Jim didn't get the run to do that. Alpha's now going to break the draft of the 3. Doesn't want the 3 to get clear to turn 1. Big Jim's still going to be up top. Allen to his inside. And this has been really good racing. Every Homestead race I've ever commentated in Heat 5 has always been just fantastic. We're seeing why as these drivers are having to control their cars, but it's also in drafts, so they're running tight together, but their cars are getting all sorts of sideways as they're going to be 3 wide. Big Jim again to the wall for the second time tonight. Got to the wall hard in 3 and 4. Tiger and Allen get away. They'll be 2nd and 3rd. Big Jim going all the way to the apron, going to forfeit a lot of spots here. He's trying to get back up going now. He'll come up right in front of Brendan and Koala and K-Sharp. Now the front 3 get away, but saw this last run where a few cars got away. I think it was about 4 cars got away, but 5th place, 6th place, 7th place, and 8th place all caught up, and before long it was 4 cars at the front to then 7 or 8. So, I mean, for sure if they start battling like Alpha and Tiger and Allen, if they start battling, that's really going to then bring Big Jim back into it, and then even Koala, and maybe even Brennan and K-Sharp and AJ. See Koala diving low on Big Jim. Paul's always been known as an aggressive racer, not giving in, and see right there though, that 1-2 did not work out well for him at all. Brennan gonna get up behind him, AJ to their inside, K-Sharp just in front of them, having a good run so far for his first race in the league. Not doing too shabby, K-Sharp. Go back up to the front because Tiger is pressuring Alpha. The 26 leads this race, but Tiger is just chipping away at it in that draft. Trying to make something happen here. Allen just patiently waiting in 3rd, maybe saving some fuel and tires. But just be back there, just kind of holding back, not going 100%, just Ryan there, just enough to stay in the draft. Here, their Tiger keeps trying to make the pass on the bottom, but can't make it work. Alpha using that outside pretty well. You see Tiger, again, right down to that white line. Passing someone, it's very hard to use that bottom unless they give you a lot of room. But whenever you're running by yourself, that inside line is just really, really good. We'll see right here. So Alpha will give Tiger some room, but you just like to use that bottom to then slide up to the wall. Tiger can't do that. Oh, Alpha got loose though! Into the 32, they all scatter around. Alpha hooked it back into the outside wall so that they didn't crash. Allen gets by Alpha, Tiger gets the lead, but all that allows the pack to inch in from behind. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. They're all closing in because those front 3 had a massive scare off turn 2. And like, look at Big Jim and K-Sharp. They're right now 4th and 5th. They got single file. Brennan single file. Koala single file. They all know now just try and work together to catch those front 3 because they are still battling and they're getting all sorts of loose and sideways and whatnot. Now Allen has a run onto Tiger. Look at the run he has in the draft. Tiger protecting the bottom. Allen's going to go to the outside of the 88. And watch for something like that late in the race. Someone getting drafted and someone going to protect the bottom. Guy on the outside could just back up the corner entry, get a nice arc in, and just send it rest of the corner. That time Allen got too high and got into the wall, and Alpha stays committed to Allen's bumper though to just push him. They don't want to get side by side because they know Big Jim's catching up, K-Sharp's catching up, Koala's catching up, even AJ and Brennan. So the more these front 3 battle, the closer that pack back behind will get. Allen again in the draft gained about 1/10 or 2 down the backstretch. Tiger's just kind of he's helpless down these straightaways with that draft. You can't really do anything except try and break it. Even then, is it really worth it to break it? Maybe if it was high draft, but I think on normal draft it would just gotta run what you have, run up against the wall, and try and keep them side by side though. Oh, Big Jim again, very loose. Look at him all the way down, trying to use as much of the racetrack as he can to not lose as much speed. And K-Sharp now gets to 4th as they battle for 2nd. Allen is on the outside. To his inside, it's Alpha in the 26. There you see Tiger trying to get some draft to the 26, then draft to the 88. Playing some lane gains here, kind of like it's at Daytona Talladega. He's trying to give draft to both of them to keep them both side by side for as long as possible. The more they're side by side, the more Tiger is just able to keep that lead. It's right there. He gives draft to the 80 on exit, but then midway down the backstretch, he gives draft to the 26, and then back up to the 88. He's just playing the game of draft right now, just trying to get them both draft, to keep them side by side. He's doing a really good job of it right now. He gives draft to the 80 on exit right here. Midway down the straightaway, he'll pull down and give draft to the 26 though. There he goes, down the lane. And then back up to get a nice entry. I think Alpha, realizing this, just said, Alan, you go, right? There's no point in us being side by side like this. Not only is Tiger just able to maintain the lead, but the guys behind are catching. So let's just get single file, and then you try and run him down. I'll just follow you in your drafting. There you can see right there. They cleared, and Alan went from being 3-4 car lengths back to immediately on Tiger's back bumper. That's how much just not being side by side with someone, that's how much it helps. Helps by 3-4 car lengths. Alpha maybe starting to lose touch a little bit. That car definitely better on the shorter run. But once it started to get loose, it really started to get loose, and it's taken a turn for the worse, literally. It's turning too much to the left off turn 2 and 4. Like I say again, he's just trying to run low to combat that issue. K-Sharp and Big Jim staying committed in 4th and 5th. K-Sharp might want to let Big Jim go possibly. That or that's just K-Sharp's lane. I don't know if he's thinking that maybe Big Jim's faster, let the 3 go, or if he just runs up there normally. I think he got a little loose there, and yeah, Big Jim's in the inside wall because of it. Or if he didn't hit the inside wall, he came very, very close. So that's no one's fault, though. That's just Homestead racing. You know, you just get loose all of a sudden off 4 and 2 just because of the transitions and the seams, and it's annoying for both people, really. The person who gets loose, you're just annoyed because you're just trying to race the guy, and the guy on the inside is definitely annoyed because they got hit, but there's nothing really he could do. You know, it's the guy on the outside can't really control that. It just happens. Can't tighten your car up enough to make it. I mean, maybe you can, but you're not going to be fast. You're not going to be running up near someone if you run a car that tight. So maybe you can combat it with wedge adjustments and tire pressure adjustments, but I think at that point your car would just be too tight to even race. So Tiger still leads this race. Alan just staying close enough in that draft in 2nd. And Alpha in 3rd might be, I mean, he could be questionable about tires maybe. Maybe he's trying to save some tires, maybe trying to save some fuel, I don't know. I don't know how close they are on fuel. And I don't know how close the tires will be, as Allen had a peek to the outside, now a peek to the inside, but gets onto the apron, has to forfeit that spot. And remember, the caution comes out on lap 67. So you'll get the yellow on lap 67. That's not completion of 67. They pit at the completion of lap 67. So really, you're racing around to just get to that start-finish line to complete lap 66. And then you're hoping that you just slam it in 4th, so you slow it down, and then you have enough fuel to just coast back around the pit road. That's what a lot of these drivers are probably going to be hoping. So we'll have to see how that all works out. I'm going to look on Brendan here and see how close he is on fuel. So that was right there, 77 to go. If they're racing to 67 to go, Brendan is going to run out off of 4 racing around. So, I mean, they're not racing to 67 to go. They're racing to 68 to go. That's when they're going to be pitting. They're going to be pitting at 68 to go. So for Brennan right now, he's about a quarter of a lap to the good on fuel. That's Brennan right now. So with 76 to go, 75 to go at the line, they're racing once again to 68 to go in this race for that midway yellow. They'll pit with 67 to go. So for Brennan right now, he's running out off turn number 2. But I think with where he's running out, he'll run out off turn 2 after the line possibly. So he might still be good to go on that fuel. As Tiger and Allen have really pulled a gap over the rest of the field. There's Tiger leading with Allen. Alpha's kind of fallen back to where K-Sharp and Big Jim are. That's 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Qualo's right now in 6th. Brennan is 7th. Then the rest of the field back behind, very, very kind of spread out. I think the 5 cars in 8th is Big Jim got really loose again off turn number 2 and had to correct it. And K-Sharp may have gotten into the wall in the 57. So I'm wondering if Allen here might be concerned about fuel, might be concerned about tires, if he's just kind of riding in that 32's draft and just trying to save whatever he can, get that car to turn well, and just staying behind him. He doesn't want to push the issue, doesn't want to battle him, because obviously tires are going to be close as well. That's not something many people would think about, but Homestead does eat up the tires pretty well. with about 7 laps to go until we get to halfway. Oh, Allen just put it in the wall, though, pretty hard in the 88. That allows Tiger to really get away nicely. Tiger's going to have a nice lead now. He can rest easy. Not easy, but he can rest a little bit easier. That's what we'll say. As now Alpha is on the back of Allen. And that was just probably Allen felt it to get loose and turned it a little bit back to the right. And just turning it back to the right is all it takes. Just a little bit. You know, you're trying to save it. You feel it get loose off of 2 or off of 4. Turn just a little bit back to the right, and that little bit's enough to put it hard to the outside wall. I've done it many times. So easy to do at Homestead. So now Allen is under fire for second. Tiger, meanwhile, just nicely in the lead, trying to make it to 68 to go for that midway yellow, and trying to obviously make it to the pit stop, which will be at 67 to go. That pit stop will come at the midway point in this race. We might be seeing some drivers get onto pit road with no fuel in the tank. They might be completely dry entering pit road. Alpha with a peek to the inside of Allen for second place. The 88's definitely fallen off in this super long run, because this is a super long run. This is definitely not a long run. This is basically, we're edge of the fuel window, edge of the tire window. No battle side by side for second, side by side for fourth. Big Jim finally trying to get around K-Sharp here. As the inside lane, K-Sharp running the outside, but K-Sharp's kind of been running out there for most of his race, but Big Jim got up in front of him, but they're still side by side for second. On the inside, that number 26, it's Alpha. Number 88, it's Allen. And we are oh so close to that midway point. 69 to go at the line as Allen, all sorts of loose, got into Alpha, but they're able to control it. 69 laps to go at the line, which means it'll be 1 to go to midway. Or 1 to go to the yellow. Midway will be in 2 laps. So Tiger leaves the corner. That's 69 to go. He has 1 lap to go until we get to the midway yellow. Obviously, no points awarded at midway. This is just a midway yellow, kind of like stages, except there's no reward. Just want to be bragging rights and be as high as you can at that point. The race down the backstretch to turns 3 and 4. Tiger, a comfortable gap. Second place is Alpha. Third place is Allen. Big Jim is 4th. K-Sharp is 5th. Koala, Brennan 6th and 7th. Tiger leaves 4. And the caution flag is out. That is the midway yellow. Tiger with the lead. Brennan in second. And I have to know for sure that they are wanting to open pit road as soon as possible. So they definitely want Tiger to slow down to get everyone, or at least most everyone, caught up, because this fuel is definitely close. They cannot go a lap more on fuel. So I would assume pit road's going to open this time, but I would have to think that the whole field's going to get caught up in time. Tiger, Alpha, Allen, Big Jim, K-Sharp. That's the front 5. As Tiger putting it on the apron. Penn's getting a free pass in the 8 car. Getting a lap back, maybe back on the lead lap. Here we go. Pit road is open, and the whole field definitely going to be pitting here. This will be with 67 to go. They'll restart with about 65 to go here at Homestead. So that could be close for just 1 stop on fuel. That would be something Tango would definitely try. To go 65 laps on just 1 stop, you get about 30-31 laps of fuel. So Tango's definitely going to try that if it stays green, but I'm surprised that last run stayed green, but you never know late in this race. People are going to get more desperate, and it could come down to a short run, like 10-15 laps. So let's see if Tiger's crew can do what they did last time and hold serve on pit road and get off first. He's came into every pit stop with the lead. So far, he's 1 for 2 on leaving with the lead, and he'll be 2 for 3 on leaving with the lead. It'll be Tiger, Alpha, Allen, Big Jim again losing a spot. Back to 5th. I think that's the 2nd time tonight Big Jim has lost a spot on pit road. This time, K-Sharp's crew passes him. So, Big Jim entered 4th. He'll be 5th because K-Sharp will now be 4th. Koala's going to be 6th. Brennan's 7th. Ballstick is 8th. AJ's 9th. 10th, place is going to be probably Tango. Pens will be 11th. Wes will be 10th. Tango will be 11th. 12th will be Pens. So they'll be choosing this time by. Tiger with the lead, and we saw one restart, Alan took the top, but then Tiger took the bottom of the last restart, but lost it to Alpha, who will be second again. So does Tiger now learn and choose the top, or does he go back to the bottom? And where does Alpha go? Tiger will now choose the top, so Alpha will choose the bottom. Alan from third chooses top, and basically it's almost like an inverse of where people were running. If they were in an odd number, they chose the top. Big Jim did choose the bottom though, so he'll keep 5th. Koala will be 6th. Brendan was 7th, but he chooses the top, so he'll be 8th for the restart. Since we're under the midway yellow, obviously, always, every race, have to thank our 2 dedicated Elite Racer Series sponsors, Double G Construction and Roofing, and Richmar Florist. Gotta thank them and gotta show them some support. And I always say it, but the winner looking for a bouquet of flowers from Richmar Florist and maybe some new roofing from Double G Construction and Roofing. As the field paces through turns 3 and 4, some people did come down and top off on fuel. They're going to come up to the back of the pack right now. You'll see them right there at the back. There they are. They topped off. They're trying to make it on one stop if it stays green, and I don't know if that's legal or not, but Pens flew by the field and is leading. They might want him to give spots back. We'll have to see here as they race down the backstretch. Tiger blocking Alpha. But Pens was one of them that came down and topped off. And, I mean, I guess as long as he didn't pass anyone before the start-finish line, it's legal. As much as people might not like it, it is legal as Tiger aggressively to the inside of Pens to turn 1. Alpha following the 8 up the racetrack. Allen goes to the inside. Alpha looking to shoot the middle. They'll be 3 wide for second behind the race leader Tiger. And you do not want Tiger to get out and lead this race because he is very, very good. Allen trying to clear Pens for second. Alpha, look at them sliding up behind. K-Sharp got hit by Koala up into Big Jim. That's just Homestead Racing. You got tight underneath and you're trying to stay in the gas, but there's 2 guys to the outside. You're going to hit one into the other, and that's exactly what happened. And definitely the worst of it was K-Sharp, who, once he got hit, lifted to try and make sure he didn't hit Big Jim that badly, which he did a good job of. Even though it wasn't his fault he was going to hit Big Jim, he still did a really good job making sure he didn't hit Big Jim too badly. Big Jim able to keep it up into the top 5 as Allen was not able to get by the 8 as Big Jim going to shove it through the middle 3, forcing Pens way up the track. Big Jim on the outside of the 88 of Allen, trying to get third away. As the front 2 are Tiger and Alpha. They're trying to get away. Big Jim going down, maybe Dorn the 88. Big Jim's been, I mean, he's had a right to be aggressive. He's been kind of put back there because of others. And he thinks he has a car that could run up there and contend with the front 2. So he's trying to get by this 88. But also Allen has a car that can do that. We've seen throughout this race the 3 best cars have looked to be the 32, the 26, and the 88. The 3 and the 9 have looked also to be pretty good. But Brennan, ever since he lost the lead and lost that track position, he's not been able to get it back. I don't know if he's being too nice or if the car's just not good when it's around others. But Brendan went from dominating the early portion of this race, taking the lead from Big Jim early, to not be able to get out of that 6th, 7th place, 8th place range. His 4 cars have broken away from the mess for 5th. I think that's K-Sharp emerging in 5th place in the 57. He's trying to get through. Brennan has gotten away in 6th. He's trying to get away from Koala and the rest of the field as Alpha looking to get to Tiger in any way he can, trying to use that draft well. And meanwhile, Allen and Big Jim are closing in 3rd and 4th. Alpha dives to the bottom. Allen. Allen tried to just kind of carry more entrance speed and slide up. That didn't really work too well for the 88. But now that the 80 and the 3 close down the 26, Alpha's there and gives a little bit of a bump to the 32 of Tiger. Drove it in very aggressively to that corner. He'll slide up off the bottom, giving the bottom to Allen. Now, Alpha able to keep it clear, though, and has a run out to Tiger to turn one. Where does he go? He wants to go back to the outside. So he passed him on the last restart, the outside lane. Alpha trying to do it again. I think it'll be a lot harder when they're up to speed, though. Allen getting a little tight, getting a little loose. Alpha, nice run, nice rotation, takes it to the inside. To turn number 3, Alpha for the lead on Tiger. Trying to clear the 32 on corner exit. He has it done, but Tiger shoots back to the bottom. Alpha's going to lead the lap, but Tiger has the inside lane to turn 1. That's how these guys are racing. They might take fuel strategy out of the equation. Tiger. Oh, Allen got up into Alpha. Alpha may have had to lift. Big Jim, a big dive towards the apron. Able to maintain, come back up as quickly as possible to stay in the draft. They battle for 5th. Brennan trying to get the spots back, trying to get back up inside the top 5 for I think the first time since he lost that track position after getting wrecked. Look at Alpha, so close to that wall. May have actually tapped it, but didn't tap it enough to stall his run. Look at Allen trying to shoot the middle 3 right for the lead. Thinks better of it. Tiger using the outside to keep the top spot. Alpha, nice rotation on the bomb, but that outside run going to work for Tiger. It might work for Allen as well. Tiger now giving a draft to the 26, but the 88, though, has a nice run. Alpha on the bottom, trying to make it work. Tiger kind of backs him up. Still side by side, still 4 cars under a blanket for 5th place. Alpha will get back in line in front of the 88, behind the 32. But this 4-way battle for the lead, definitely not over. Look at Allen, gonna slide job Alpha. Dove it in deep for 2nd place. Alpha's gonna switch back to the inside. And once again, this is kind of the same position they were in the last run, where they were side by side for a while. Tiger gives draft to both of them. The question is, will any of them give this time? Alpha trying to clear Allen, and he is clear, so he'll move up and once again get in line between the 32 and the 80. Has a nice run going to turn 1. He's going to stay in line and look for a nice quarter exit speed. Backed up the entry to get a nice exit here. He's back into the gas sooner than Tiger is. He's going to be speed all the way down the backstretch and add that with the draft. Could be a nice run. Tiger running a little bit lower, trying to get away from the number 26. Alpha's going to run higher again, trying to back up that corner entry to get the exit. Big Jim moves around Allen to get to 3rd. Right there, 54 laps to go in this race. If it stays green, it could come down to fuel mileage for drivers like Tango and anyone who topped off. If we get yellow, then that fuel strategy's out the window. Look at Tiger again, protecting that bottom. Alpha, the push from Big Jim, but doesn't take it. Big Jim again, just staying patient though, behind that 26. Knows if Alpha starts to go and try and pass Tiger, Big Jim trying to take advantage if something happens. Look at Alpha, how Lucy's getting off 4 right there. He had to really corral the car. There'll be 3 wide for 2nd. Allen to the inside. He's been very aggressive today, and love to have a driver. No matter who it's been he's racing, he's been very, very aggressive, and maybe some people haven't liked that, but that is just good hard racing. Oh, Big Jim and Alpha are slamming doors down the backstretch trying to side draft. Big Jim will take 2nd away. Alpha's going to fall back to 4th. Allen will slot into 3rd. Now what can Big Jim do with the 32 of Tiger? It's the highest Big Jim's been since early on in the race. He has been able to keep that track position, and has he finally adjusted the car to where it's to his liking for the long run, and is it something that can maintain with Tiger? Down the back stretch. Big dive to the inside for Big Jim. We saw him last race at Darlington, a track kind of like this where it's all about handling and tire wear and whatnot, being so precise. We saw him with an amazing battle with Brody to the end, to the checkered flag. Brody won that one in a fantastic finish. Big Jim now battling the likes of Tiger and Alpha, and Allen doesn't want the same thing to happen again, but he has to work very hard to make sure that he can try and get to victory lane as Alpha looks to his inside. Alpha, though, thinks better, wants to catch that 32. Big Jim a dive to turns 3 and 4. He lets Alpha go, actually. So he lets Alpha get that 2nd position. Is Tiger going to maintain the lead in the 32? Alpha gonna go high again. So right there, that was 50 laps to go in this race. Tiger breaking some draft. Again, giving it to the bottom, but not staying side by side. Big Jim also lets Allen get that spot. Allen now third. Big Jim back to fourth. Alpha trying to run down Tiger as their first and second. I would say Tiger's led most of this race, but it's been a good mix of drivers. We've had Tiger lead a good portion, Alpha led a good portion, Brennan led early on, Big Jim led some early on, Allen's led a few here and there, so really it's been a great kind of mix between the front five. Is for the lead. Alpha's inside the Tiger. He'll dive it to the inside. Can he make it stick? He's trying. Tiger's still up there, though. He has to turn it back to the left. Allen now looking to try and make it 3 wide. They'll be side by side for the lead. Allen goes back to the top, going with Tiger. Now he's going to go back bottom with Alpha here. Big Jim going to go top with Tiger. Allen into Tiger. Tiger into Alpha. They'll drag a race 2 by 2 down the backstretch. Into turns 3 and 4. Tiger really pinching Alpha down, trying to make sure Alpha can't get back into the gas and slide job him. Alpha still not clear the 32. Maybe is now. No, Tiger still getting to that quarter panel, getting that side drift. He gets back in line, trying to look to the inside. This is outstanding racing for these 4 drivers at the front of the field. Alpha clears and leads at Homestead. Looking to go back to back at this track in this series. Did it last winter. We're going to do it here this summer. Alpha kind of missed the bottom, slid up there. Tiger held a nice line to the bottom, has a nice run. Gonna get back up and use that draft as well. Alpha trying to get a nice arc into the corner. Tiger trying to follow him through. Instead of Big Jim back there in fourth, Allen in third, Tiger in second. Tiger a nice run off 2, using the draft of the 26 in front of him. He'll pull to the inside of turns 3 and 4. With how this has been, if there's about 3-4 cars in the pack at the end, I'd not want to be the leader in the last lap unless you want to be very, very defensive entering 3 and 4. Alpha the run on the top, able to lead that lap, but Tiger still maintaining to the bottom to turn 1. Tiger using that white line. Alpha kind of using the middle. Kind of where the seam is, though, so you have to watch out for that corner exit. So far, these front 4 have done a really good job at that. I hope I didn't jinx anyone, though. They now ride in a line, trying to use the draft and get closer to each other. Big Jim looking around the top of Allen. He's really like that lane. He's still trying to make it work. 2 overzealous again into the gas. He got into the wall again and might lose the front pack again. That's a shame for Big Jim. That's the 3rd time he got into the wall through 3 and 4. Tiger using the middle, trying to get up to Alpha. Allen looks to Tiger's inside, but will get back in line. Tiger, a nice run down the back to turns 3 and 4, but not close enough to make a move to the bottom lane. That would have been too aggressive in my opinion. Oh, Alpha. Allen, synchronized looseness right there. And they still have to run about 10, 12 laps on these tires in this run. And then they have another fuel run, and maybe even then some. Tiger, all but clear of Alpha. Maybe some contact. Alpha fights back to the outside, and they're side by side again for the race lead. This might be more side by side for the lead than what I've ever seen at a super speedway like Daytona or Talladega. This is outstanding. Tiger still trying to side draft Alpha, still staying to the inside. Not giving up that fight for the lead. Tiger sends it to that white line. Allen on the white line. Alpha trying to pinch, but the 32 so powerful on the inside. Not clear though. Allen's going to go bottom 3 maybe. Alpha's on the outside. Tiger blocks the advance of the 88. And all this battling allowed Big Jim back into the draft. It's still 4 cars and they're 2 by 2. Tiger all but clear the 26. Oh, contact made! It was the front 3, the 88, the 32, and the 26. That gives Tiger the race lead. Now he pulls low, trying to protect the bottom. Allen looks to shoot the middle. Alpha looks to the outside. If this is how they're battling, with about 40 laps to go. Imagine the end of this race. Allen moves. He gets into Tiger, who tries to save it and masterfully does. Pulls back up trying to get draft. And now Big Jim looks to shoot the middle 3 wide. Look at Big Jim. Using the high side. Big Jim up to second, right behind Alpha. Right in front of Allen. Tiger still in the draft and not out of it. Big Jim getting a nice run in the draft of the 26. But will stay in line to turns 1 and 2. Alpha takes Big Jim's line away on the top side. They're running all the way up against the wall. Alpha into it. Comes down off of the wall. Big Jim and Allen look for a way to go. Big Jim's loose. Gets into Allen. This has been crazy. This is with 40 to go. They still have a pit stop to make. Maybe even 2. Allen trying to clear Big Jim for second. Tiger's back in it. Allen loose off 4. Big Jim back to his outside. Tiger pushing Big Jim. The 3 getting down close to the 88 to turn 1. Brennan is within laps of having to pit, which means these race leaders are within laps of having to pit. Alpha maintaining the lead out front. Big Jim in second. Battling with Allen. Alpha loose. Allen into him. Big Jim to his outside. Big Jim now leads the race. He'll cut down in front of Alpha. The 3 now leads the race. Alpha and Tiger are side by side. Second and third. Allen in fourth, still in it. It's still these 4 drivers. But now here's the question. They're going to have to make green flag pit stops. This is the first time tonight they're having to pit under green flag conditions. Who knows how to enter pit road to maximize the pit speed? Who can do it the best without speeding? We're going to find out here shortly within a lap or 2. And who does anyone... obviously, I wouldn't want to try and undercut because of the fuel window with how close it is. I'd want to try and run this out as long as possible. And I think all 4 of these guys, because of that, are going to be pitting within the same lap or 2. Brennan had to pit that time. He'll come down in the 9 car from 5th place. The front 4 still out there on a wing and a prayer, trying to see how far they can make it on fuel and tires. And Brennan all but hit, but with how much fuel he wasted there, he's about still 6-7 laps short, maybe even more, maybe even 8. So, I mean, that's not savable for any of these guys. Maybe for Tango and some others it is, especially here at Homestead, he can save pretty well. As here we go. Looks like Alpha will be the first to pit of these drivers. The rest, though, still staying out. Big Jim not pitting. Allen's not pitting. Tiger hasn't pitted. Alpha the first of the front 4 to pit, and he'll definitely come out the lead if he didn't speed and if he maximized pit road well, because those fresh tires mean a lot. Just 1 lap will mean a lot. I think that's a signal for Tiger to pit. Big Jim going to be pitting as he pulls low. Has Allen been saving fuel to stay out even longer? It looks like the 88 might be staying out. It might be coming in now. Yep, front 3 will pit. Allen passes Tiger. Tiger going to try and pass him back as they go double file on the pit road. Big Jim leads them on in the 3 car. So Big Jim from the lead will pit. There's Brennan, how he came out. You can see most of the field in that last lap as you have to use the access roads to leave. That's one of the unique things about this racetrack. There's Alpha leaving, excuse me. He might be leading when this all cycles through. See how much Brennan gained. He pitted a lap earlier than Alpha. So Brennan might actually come out around maybe the 3 in them. He might come out around them, and I think Alpha will be leading. So I believe all that has now handed the lead over to Tango. He should be the only one out there. He's been saving fuel, and he's trying to go the distance on just 1 more stop, as all these others are going to be doing this pit stop and then possibly 2 tires on that last pit stop, maybe even none with how long some of them stayed out. So there's Tango. Still saving at this point. There's Big Jim and the 88 and the 32. They all come up with Alpha. The 26 trying to get the lead of this race. Brennan, pitting earlier than any of them, is going to be in their draft. Now, if he can stay in their draft, that was a massive call for Brennan to pit a lap earlier, 2 laps earlier than most of them, a lap earlier than Alpha, who leads the race because he pitted sooner than the 3, the 88, and the 32. Allen drops out to get back in line. So obviously for Brennan, he's definitely not thinking about going to the end on fuel. Has Allen maybe thought about that? The 88 has kind of fallen off. Did he stay out long enough to where he thinks that maybe he can do that? We'll have to see. It'd be a stretch, but with how he's kind of fallen off, I think he might be trying to save here. Because Allen's not been that slow here tonight. I can promise you that. He's been fast. So for Allen to be falling off like that is, he's thinking that he can try and make it. Right here at the line, Brennan has 33 to go. He's 6 laps short on fuel, which would make Allen about 4 laps short since he pitted 2 laps after. So, I mean, that'll be interesting. Tango's just taken 32 to go in the 90 car. Looking for Tango. There he is. So he's taken 32 to go. He's already gone. I mean, he's already gone a good ways. So I think, you know, he might just be trying to save this run, then make that last run to where he can just basically go all out. As now Tango will be coming into pit road this time. He'll be pitting with 31 to go. You get about 30, 31 laps of fuel. So do the math. He'll have to save maybe a lap at most, which for Tango, that might as well be do that within the last 2 laps. So Tango's on pit road for what is going to be his only stop of this final half of the race unless yellow comes out. He obviously won't leave with the race lead and might even leave close to being a lap down. But in the long haul, it might work out. There go the leaders. They're by Tango. Leading this race, it's Alpha. Big Jim is second. Brennan is in third now. Brennan trying to stay with the draft of the front 2. Meanwhile, Tiger is also fallen off in fourth. Maybe he's thinking about saving fuel like Allen. They've fallen off so much they have to be saving fuel. But can they save enough is the question. Hey, think about trying to save enough fuel like that. You try and maximize fuel saving. Well, if Tango did that and lost that much time, you have to think that they would have to lose an amount of time kind of like that. As Brennan drove it in deep there on Big Jim, and Brennan wants the lead. I mean, look at this. He just drove through the 3 and the 26. Brennan leads this race. I mean, I wouldn't think the 26 and the 3 would be saving because they would have already done that, I would think. But maybe Big Jim is starting to maybe try and save. I don't know. For Brennan, it is for sure just go hard. I'm not saving because I came in earlier than anyone there. For Big Jim, I don't know him as a saver. You know, I've never known Big Jim to sit in a race unless it was crucial to save, right? For Big Jim, I would not think he's saving right now. Maybe he's trying to save tires so that on the pit stop it's just a splash and go, half a can. That could be possible. Because for sure, for the drivers that are going to be pitting again, you want to make that pit stop as short as possible. So half a can of fuel. You don't want to take tires, but for some people you might want. And look how much time the 32 and the 88 have lost by saving. There they are. I mean, there's Tiger. He's fallen all the way back here. Allen is just in front of him. They have fallen back behind the 17 and the 57. They are saving to the max right now. And with how much they're saving, they might fall back to Tango even. Now the question is, right, where's Tango at in relation to the leaders? There's Tango. He's going into, I believe that's turns 1 and 2. It's kind of hard to tell because this racetrack is symmetrical. I think that's coming off turn 2. Yes, it is. So Tango's off turn 2 now. The leaders, is that through 1 and 2? I think it might be. So the leaders are about a turn behind Tango. He is the last car on the lead lap. Brennan has gone up and left these guys. Right? There's the 9. He's all the way out there. That's Brennan. He's leading. He's just out there going hard, either praying a yellow comes out and he has that track position, or he's going to go hard and try to make the pit stop as short as possible and hope that everyone else runs out, or if they don't run out, that he just still cycles out in front of them because they're saving so much. So Brennan is going hard. I don't know. I would have to think that Alpha and Big Jim are also saving then. With how slow they're going, you have to think that they're also on fuel saving mode. That's definitely not tire saving mode. That's definitely fuel saving mode. I mean, look how slow they're going. There's K-Sharp and there's Wes. They are flying up onto these two like they're standing still. These two have been leading a good chunk of the race. Go back up to Brennan. There he is. We have a car coming off pit run from him. That's AJ. I think he just made his final pit stop. So he had already pitted this stage. Brennan now has over 4 seconds on Big Jim and Alpha, who have about 3 seconds to K-Sharp and Wes. Right now, the battle is going to be between the 3, the 26, the 90, the 32, and the 88. It's not a battle as in who can go the fastest and win. It is who can go the slowest but do it the best? Who can go the slowest but do it the fastest? There's Tango down the backstretch. He is still saving. Look how slow he's going. He's still saving to the max. Brennan's not saving. We know Big Jim and Alpha, they're saving, but they're not saving that much like Tango is. Tiger is definitely saving a lot. Allen is definitely saving a lot. Look at them. Penn's even saving, it looks like, in the 8. It looks like he's going pretty slow. Where's Allen? I mean, has Allen even fallen behind? Yeah, Allen's even behind Tiger. That's how much the 88's saving. He's kind of right there. He has about a straightaway to Tango. Tango's about a straightaway behind him. I mean, this is going to be interesting to see who can play this game the best, right? I mean, whose strategy is going to work out the best in all this, right? There's Allen. He's still losing. Tiger's definitely not saving as much. There's Tango. Is he in the catbird seat? Is he going to be able to go, you know, full bore sooner than some others? There's Big Jim and Alpha. Still in what looks to be conservation mode. Brennan, meanwhile, zero conserving in that 9 car. He's pulling away by tenths and seconds. Just trying to hope that he's going fast enough to be able to still come out in front of all these guys. That is his main goal at this stage. So you can see Big Jim and Alpha are being caught by, that is K-Sharp and Wes, but that is not who they're racing. The 3 and the 26 are racing the 32, and they're racing the 88, and they're racing the 90, and maybe Brennan if the 9 extends the lead enough. This is gonna be something. You see them pull low here. They're gonna let the 57 go. I don't know where Wes went. Just trying to see some. Oh, Wes pitted. Maybe he wrecked into pit road. I would have to assume that's what it was. I'd have to say that Wes maybe wrecked into pit road. There's Tango, still saving, still in max save mode. Was that Tiger behind him? Oh no, Tango's lagging. This is it's getting interesting. So K-Sharp's in front of these two, but obviously he's not saving. There's Wes. Brennan has fallen out of the race in the 9. Brennan lagged out. Pens has pitted. So Brennan, who was there trying to just go as fast as possible to extend that out, you know, and get as big of a lead as he could, has lagged out. And now it's going to come down to who can go. Now Brennan's out of the equation, right? The 9 car going as fast as possible is out of the equation. Now it's down to the 3 of Big Jim, the 26 of Alpha. They're saving, but are they saving enough is the question. Now I don't know how many laps there are to go, so we'll just have to see here. The 3 and the 26 are down the backstretch, entering 3 and 4 now. There's Allen. He's not that far back, so maybe he's starting to push. Where's Tiger? There's Tiger. Brendan, I saw you lagged out. That is an unfortunate issue.
Yeah, I don't know. The internet just went, and I don't know if anyone else is streaming. Let's see if I can get something pulled up.
I don't think anyone else is, but there is some fuel saving going on.
Yeah, I'll say this. Tango started saving from the beginning of the last caution, and now everyone has started saving after their first pit stop.
It was very interesting to see. You know, Tango's out. Knew Tango would be saving from the get-go. That was just the Tango way. But then it was interesting after that pit stop, seeing Allen drop off first, and then Tiger, and then Alpha and Big Jim soon follow. This is gonna be.
I do know K-Sharp is not saving. Ballistic is not saving. Besides that, everyone else is saving. I think Jim said he was on pace to make it, and I think Alpha said he was too. Problem is, I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll have to see here. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, and I think Alan dropped off so much and saved enough that he's now coming full throttle, trying to catch up to Big Jim and Alpha who are still saving. So Alan dropped back the first of all those front four, and now he's coming like a bull through a china shop, trying to get up and get to that 3 and get up to that 26 because he can see them. He's on the same straightaway as them now. Alpha's starting to lose some ground to Big Jim actually, which is interesting. Alpha might think he has to save a little bit more than Big Jim thinks he has to save. I think that was Wes and Quella making some contact. That's also not the question of a yellow coming out. If a yellow comes out, then everything changes, and then the people who weren't saving, who maybe got some track position, they're in good shape. So, I mean, that could still come to play.
I'm unsure of laps, but when I lagged out, it was about 22 to go, so I'd guess around 18, 17 now.
Okay.
We know Tango is going to make it for sure. We know that for sure. Jim said he was on pace, but I don't know where Alpha and Alan really are. I don't know if Alpha has to save a little bit more. I think Alpha is faster than Jim on pace. Well, so maybe he's saving his extra now.
Yeah, now I'm thinking back to when they pitted. Alpha pitted a lap sooner than Big Jim, so he has to save 1 lap extra than the 3 car does. So that will allow Big Jim to pull away here. But Alan is now clear of anyone in between the 26 and the 3. So now Alan can see them, and whether he's good or not, I don't know. But he must think he's close enough to where he can just push hard. He sees those 2 in front of him saving and slowing. So he's trying to get up there.
And I do know, I've just learned that Tiger has a clutch. I don't know where he is. I think
last I saw he was with Tango. He might have actually fallen behind Tango.
I think Alan has some sort of clutch. Jim has a clutch. Alpha has a clutch.
Yeah.
Everyone else, I think, has nothing.
Tiger
I'm tempted to see, is anyone else saving? Who else is saving? Because I don't know. They're basically having to save 6 laps. I don't know if you're going to be able to save that on controller, which is why I went. I didn't bother saving.
Yeah. I was like, Brendan's just going to go and hope and pray. Tiger right now is about to fall a lap down to K-Sharp, who is not saving and is not going to try and save. And he's leading the race right now, but is doubtful to make it at the pace he's running.
K-Sharp, I believe, is on. He's on controller wheel. I know he definitely doesn't have a clutch.
Yeah, I think he's on wheel without a clutch. I think that's what he's on. Because it looks like Alan is closing the gap to Alpha, who is keeping the gap steady to Big Jim at the moment. The Big Jim does have a nice, comfortable gap to where if that thing does start to sputter, coming off the final corner, it would still be fine. And obviously he knows Alpha might be in a worse position fuel-wise than the 3 is, so that would help him. And he has a nice gap back to Alan as well, who started saving before anyone.
Joe, I will be right back. I actually have I have, whatever you call it, I can go into the other party and ask how many laps are left. So I'm going to do that.
That's a good idea.
So I'll be back.
He does that. We still focus on Big Jim, who right now at the moment we think is going to cycle out to be the leader after K-Sharp has to pit in the 57. The question is, does he have the pace to stay ahead of the 88, who might be pushing very, very hard? Alpha saving to where the 88's now on his bumper. This is going to come down to the wire, I think. I mean, did Alan back off too much, or did he back off just enough to where now he can push hard? It's going to be fun to watch for these 3 drivers.
They said they're coming to 7.
Alright, so they just took 7 to go. So it's getting down to the point now where K-Sharp's going to have to pit soon. If he's about 5-6 laps. In fact, he might be pitting now as he's pulling low down the backstretch. That'll put Tiger back on the lead lap, and that'll also put then Big Jim in the lead. Alan is all over Alpha, trying to get 2nd place. As there goes K-Sharp, so he'll pull off. Alan's looking around the outside of Alpha. Big Jim may have just scraped the wall. He's still pushing the car hard, even though he's saving.
And remember, there's only a couple laps left till no cautions, and no one's really near each other, so this should be green to the end.
Yeah, this was 6 to go, so they're getting to the point of no return to where there won't be yellow even if there is a massive crash. And sure. Oh, speaking of crash, Koala just wrecked off turn 2, but he is the only car involved. So that will not warrant a yellow. That was a tough break for Koala, though. I think he was racing with Wes, and it looked like one of them got loose and hit the other, but Alpha's still holding off Alan. That is what Big Jim loves to see. And we'll have to see if Alpha just wants to push it now. 5 to go right there. So at some point, these guys just have to unleash it and hope for the best.
I'd like to point out here, Koala is locked into the chase no matter what. If Alpha wins, he gets the wild card spot, and Jocko is out.
There you go. So Alpha's season basically rides on this. He might let Alan go and maybe try and have Alan go up there and push Big Jim, and maybe they made some contact. I mean, maybe that's what Alpha thinks is his way to win. That's 4 to go for Big Jim, I do believe.
This would be big for Jim because, I mean, you know, Jim isn't really a saver.
Yeah.
So he'd take a lot of pride in this one.
Well, I was even saying whenever people were dropping off, I was like, Big Jim's definitely not going to drop off. He's going to push this because I know one race they saved, and I think it was here at Michigan he saved to win that one. So he's looking to do it again.
That was only about a lap. This is
this is
maybe
6.
5 or 6.
This is definitely a huge step up if Big Jim can do it. I think that right there, that's 3 to go. So he's getting down to it.
Thinking about it, I'm not sure if Alpha, he let Alan go because he had to save an extra lap. I think Jim only has to save 5, Alpha has to save 6.
Yeah, that's...
And Alan is catching. He dropped off way at the beginning. So I think he saved all his fuel early, and now he's pushing.
Alan dropped off so much that he actually fell behind Tiger even. You see where Tiger is right now and how slow he's going. So Alan's going even slower than that. And once he saved enough fuel, he just pushed it. But with 2 to go, time is running out. He has to hope that Big Jim maybe runs out at this point because Big Jim has a comfortable gap. And if that thing does sputter off turn 2 or into turn... Oh my gosh! K-Sharp got loose right in front of him, almost wrecked the 3. Then he moved aside and let Big Jim go as the 3 is coming to the white flag, I do believe, this time by. Alan is not close enough, but he is close enough if the 3 starts to sputter at all in this final lap. So that should be the white flag for Big Jim. Should be 1 lap to go here at Homestead.
Once you hit 0, you only have a couple seconds at this track.
Yeah, here at Homestead, you run out basically immediately. In other tracks, you get about, a corner or so, but here it's big as Alan is trying to keep second. Alan might be out, actually, as Alpha's battling him. Big Jim into turns 3 and 4. There's going to be a battle for second behind the 3 car. But Big Jim off of 4. He does it. Checkered flag. Big Jim saves fuel to win. That's like the first time ever he's done that. That's something he wanted.
He's excited about that one. He's very excited about that one.
He's definitely excited about that one. That'll be fun to hear. Alan, I think, was able to hold on to second. Alpha going to be third in all that. But that was a crazy field. That was a crazy race. I mean, there was battling for the lead all throughout, and then it all came down to some fuel mileage. Then people decided to out Tango. So
yeah, I was about to say, I don't know how Tango feels about that. They just out-saved him.
Tango's gonna be like, oh man, I thought I had it. Tango probably saw how many laps he had to save, and he was like, oh good, it's gonna be like me and no one else.
Well, the thing impressive about what these guys did is they did it in like 1 full fuel run. Tango did in 2.
Tango split that up, but really for Tango, he saved most of it in that first one because he went to about, I think, 31 to go when he pitted. So Tango did do a lot of it in the first one, but still to save in the second. And we have many of the top 3 joining. So I'll start with the guy who finished in third, Alpha. That was quite the race in that beautiful looking race car.
Yep.
Unfortunately, though, it looked like you had to save a little bit more than the guys around you because you pitted a lap earlier. Take us through your whole race, though, because my gosh, you were bound for the lead pretty much the whole time.
Car was fast, and as I see right now, I got the fastest lap. So yeah, car was fast. I like Homestead, and I ran 2, as I did in New Hampshire. listen, kids, going lower works. But yes, the car was fast. Not, I maybe on the same pace as Tiger. Tiger was probably one of the fastest ones. But hey, I had fun battling with Big Jim, Alan, and Tiger because we were just battling, going, trying to use every single lane that we could, and it was fun. But when it came to the pit stops, yeah, I had to pit a little early, but then I had to save a little bit more because Jim saved a ton of fuel behind me, and then I tried to do the same, but it was a little bit too late for me to do it. So, but I'm trying to make a move for a second, trying to get it back, but I started sputtering, same as Alan. So, take third. It sucks I didn't win because I knew I needed to win, but it's all good. Had fun with it.
Yeah, I had fun watching you out there race. I don't know if Brendan wants to ask a question since he kind of commentated.
I'm gonna ask it to all the drivers. How does it feel to out Tango?
Great. I've done it before. So, but Tango's taught me his ways. So he expects me to actually beat him. So, so I feel happy beating him, but I can't take too much credit from him because I learned a lot from him. So
you're like Tango's protege.
Yep.
Well, Alpha, I know it wasn't the win you wanted, but congrats on the third, and it was great to see you battling at the front all race.
Thank you.
And we'll move on to second place, Alan. So close, but man, you had that fuel mileage figured out to a science. You dropped off at the start. I was like, wow, he's really saving, and then you just came like a bolt through a china shop there late in the run. Take us through that because that was amazing to watch you fall all the way back, but then blast your way up through there.
Yeah, I didn't know how hard I had to save. I know you kind of save generally, just racing, like just off throttle through the corner. So I kind of saved harder than I needed to. I think I could have went faster saving the same amount. I think, and I could have been in a little better contact with Jim and Alpha, but. Yeah, I determined I saved enough. I just went hard at the end. Kind of got some help from other cars, just kind of letting me take the line I wanted, just trying to get back up to the front. And I was trying to get to Jim before he started to go, but I saved a little too much. He sat behind Alpha and saved more, so I just couldn't get back to him before he started to go. But I'll take a good win going into the chase. I said chase, not playoffs.
I do want to know, like throughout that whole race, you were battling with Big Jim and Alpha and Tiger. What was that like? Because it looked a little sketchy up from the commentating booth.
Yeah, it was sketchy. I think I hit Tiger off of 2 like 3 times. I hit Jim a few times, Alpha a few times. It is a lot of fun here, but you can just get real snappy loose off of 2 and 4, and there's not much you can do about it. Really more 2 for me. I don't really get loose off of 4 that much for some reason. But yeah, it is a lot of fun. You can slide job people. You can run 3 lanes if you wanted to. So it's a lot of fun. Just the corner exit makes it a little sketchy. But yeah, it's a lot of fun racing. I mean, we were basically racing the whole race until the last stop where we started saving. So it is a lot of fun.
Oh, I did like your aggressiveness out there. I definitely like that. Congratulations on the second place, and good luck in the chase.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll move on to the winner, who's definitely ecstatic that he was able to save multiple laps of fuel to win the race. Big Jim, this is a different way for you to win it. Your race was interesting. You wrecked off turn 2 early on. There was no yellow for that. You walled yourself in 3 and 4 about 3 or 4 times, 2 of which put you out of the main draft. But then you ended up getting back up there after the midway yellow, and then you had to save fuel. And you still ended up winning. Big Jim, that was quite the eventful race. Take us through it.
Yeah, I'm no Kyle Larson. Every time I try to run the fence, I get it and I Velcro to it, and I lose about 2 seconds of time. I wrecked earlier in stage 1 because Tiger hit the seam in 2 that Alan was talking about, and yeah, I went home for a little bit. And then after that, I mean, it was kind of just a rebound. We got back through the field on some of those cautions and gave ourselves a shot, and we're able to win a tango race. So it felt pretty good.
What was it like after that? Were you planning on saving, or did you only start saving once you saw Alan and Tiger, drop off?
Well, usually I have a policy that I'm not going to do that, but once I saw that everyone else was doing that, I was like, well, I should join the fun because, I mean, you have all this different kind of racing, short track racing, intermediate racing, road course racing. You could almost call fuel mileage racing like its own genre because it is so different than anything else. And I mean, it was fun, but guys with controllers have no shot with that. They can't save any. They don't have a clutch. So that's the only thing about that kind of racing that, isn't the best. I know that Workman wasn't a big fan of it earlier in the season, but it was fun to do when you have the tools to do it. It's fun to do.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad I was up here, because I would have been one of the frustrated people racing. Brennan, do you have anything to say to our winner?
How's it feel to out Tango?
Yeah, it feels good. I don't know how. Usually Tango just, takes us to school on those, but I guess after we've seen it a little bit, we watched the, I guess we didn't really watch the footage, but we've learned from the Kroger race at Homestead, so...
Yeah.
We wanted to figure something out to defeat the king, and we were able to do it.
Any
At least three of us were.
Reese's Pieces in Victory Lane this time?
No, I'm more of a Skittles person. But,
okay.
Tango can have his Reese's.
I do also have one more question. How do you feel about these last 5 tracks, these chase tracks? You got Phoenix, Canada, Auto Club, Iowa, Chicago.
Very diverse. I mean, the only short track in there, the one I'm really, really looking forward to is Iowa. But, I did win Chicagoland, which is that is the ultimate, like, the last race, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did win that in Season 1 in the Winter Series. So hopefully I can, put on in the chase.
There you have it. That was a good segue, Brendan, into talking about the chase. That's next. This was the end of the regular season. 5 races, as Brendan mentioned. Phoenix, Canadian Tire, Auto Club, Iowa, Chicagoland. That's, as Big Jim said, a diverse section of tracks. So tune in the next 5 weeks for that. It'll be a fun time to crown the Elite Racer Series Season 2 champion. Once again, thanks to our sponsors, Double G Construction and Roofing and Richmar Floors. They're great. Definitely support them. Whenever I need a new roof, I'll call up Double G Construction and Roofing, and I'll pay them in flowers from Richmar Floors. Thanks, everyone, for watching the Elite Racer Series from Homestead. Congrats to Big Jim on the win. We'll see you guys in the chase.